along the way, we stopped knowing, or quite frankly, caring how things worked. The bulb burns out, we buy a new lamp, something breaks, and we just replace it, or we pay somebody else to fix it. We've traded understanding for convenience, and it has now cost us something far more valuable than money. And thanks to AI, every skill, every answer, every how-to can now be explained to you like you're 5 in about 9 seconds from a quick search, which leaves a much scarier question sitting in its place. If you can learn anything now, why haven't you? Or better yet, what are you not pursuing that you really should be? Because access was never really the problem. And now that the excuse is gone, there's nowhere left to hide. The excuse of, I don't know how to, evaporated over the last 5 years. It's simply gone. What actually separates people isn't information anymore. It's curiosity, but more importantly, it's execution of an idea. So in this episode, we're gonna dig into what happens when every excuse is gone, and the one gap that still stops people from moving forward. But before we get into that episode, if you're a fan of honest conversations around success and transformation and the kind that aren't polished, they aren't comfortable, and they happen when nobody is watching, well, you're in the right place, because that's exactly what we do here at Habitual Growth. And one quick thing before we dive in, you now have the entire AI internet at your pocket and all of the answers, so there is officially no excuse for not knowing how to hit that like and how to hit that subscribe button. That is one skill that takes zero research, and I know you can apply it. So go ahead, let's do it, and let's get into today's growth episode. Well, Lisa, good to see you again. I know you're traveling. You were talking, we were just kind of joking a little bit behind the scenes before we hit record here.
Yep.
About a podcast that you had listened to. It hit my feed. I actually haven't watched it yet, but it was between Mike Rowe, who I absolutely love and should be an inspiration for a lot of younger generations, just in terms of like getting your hands dirty and going in and doing it. And of course, Sean Ryan, who he himself is a polarizing yet very educated and experienced individual podcaster. And person that, you know, really tries to exemplify personal growth and development. So I'm going to turn it over to you to really introduce this topic, because I think it's a good one. And I think it applies across multiple spectrums, and there really shouldn't be excuses for people anymore, but yet there always seems to be something that comes up.
Yeah, it was a great podcast episode. I haven't even gotten all the way through it because Sean's are always like 3 hours long. However, I found it really interesting, and the conversation kind of drifted obviously from how Mike Rowe got started and how he made dirty jobs and, you know, really brought visibility to a lot of actual jobs in America that people didn't even know existed. People going out every day, getting their hands dirty, doing things that no one would even fathom you could make a living at, to a point now in time where we have so much access to information and learning capabilities that I don't know how to do something, or I didn't know that existed as an opportunity, no longer can really play into your reason why you're not growing, developing, learning. It becomes a choice not to seek out the information more than it does that the information isn't available to you to figure out how to do something. And so that's what I wanted to open up today, because we've obviously seen, yes, exponential growth of information being available to people, you know, particularly within the personal development space. I also hear people are checking out, like, there's too much information coming my way. I don't know how to sort it. But then are there still times where people are saying, I don't know how to do something, as an excuse or a reason not to pursue growth, development, or excellence in a certain area of their life? So thought it was a great topic to bring up, because I think you and I might have slightly different opinions. But I also think it's important for our listeners to have an awareness of, hey, maybe why haven't I put a goal on my habitual growth, you know, app list? Is there an activity that maybe I haven't considered that I could use, you know, Claude or ChatGPT to frame something in a way that I hadn't considered that will actually help me move faster towards the goals that I have on?
Yeah. I think this is a good topic. I'll get to the question I posed to you before we hit record. But, you know, I think yes, I mean, information is out there, and this is where society is going. It is going to be an access to information. And actually, Sam Altman, the OpenAI founder, came out and said this maybe a year ago at this point, but he was like, at least in his vision, information is going to be throttled through ChatGPT or other, like you would energy. You pay for information, which is not what the internet was actually designed to do. I don't think it'll actually go that route. I think you've got people like Elon Musk and Grok. You've got Anthropic and what they're doing with Claude. And so there's, and multiple different models that are coming out where information is readily available. I think this is a situation where people need to follow their curiosity, right? It's different than saying, hey, I need to go research and figure out how to do this, read up on this topic, and then go through, 75 Google links to get everything encompassed into a story or a narrative that you understand versus going to, Claude and typing something in and say, explain this to me like I'm a fifth grader, right? So I think some of the information is much more accessible, yet it's a lot easier to digest. You can say, give me the cliff notes of this and really get a handle on something a lot faster than you would have been able to do several years ago. And I think that in itself is critical. So just from an informational standpoint, I do believe like, yes, information is out there. It's a lot faster to do, tasks, basic tasks, things like that. But at the same time, I think people still have to have the want and the drive to go look and try to find something. And to me, that's where I was asking you the question of like, well, is this really a problem? Because people that have drive are going to have drive. They're going to go figure it out. If you don't know how to build an investor deck or a pitch deck or a business plan, like it is so incredibly easy to do this stuff right now. I mean, it takes what used to take me a couple of months to do, I can do in less than 5 minutes. Like I did it last night with a specific table that I was building for habitual growth. And so I want to put that out there of like access to information is easier than ever. Digesting information, being able to have things explained to you like you are sitting in an MIT class is a lot easier to get access to. That still doesn't mean people aren't going to make the excuses to go actually find the information or actually use the information.
Yeah, and it's curious you use the word curiosity because they actually talked about that in this episode, which was people may say, well, I'm not a disciplined person, or I do not have the work ethic that's required to do that. And Mike's response was, maybe not. Maybe you were born in a certain environment where you didn't grow up with parents that, really hustled and did what had to be done, that kind of really struggled to connect end to end. And how do you build that? And one of the ways that he talked about building that is through the search for curiosity. So what am I curious about to the extent that I continue to pull on that thread and learn and grow, which ultimately keeps me moving down that pathway. My mind hasn't associated it with work ethic or discipline as much as it is, I'm just curious to figure out how this works. I'm curious what the next thing is. And I thought that was a really, really interesting perspective when it came from Mike, and just like the roles that he's had and, what he's really trying to drive with all of his foundations and developing a youth and a culture of drive and work ethic, but then also mapping that to the discussion of so much information is out there and how do you best utilize it? Because sometimes, I look at information that's out there and it's, what do I need for my job? What do I need to figure out this problem right now? I'm probably less good at going, what am I curious about? What have I not considered? What do I want to learn more about just because it makes me happy, or I want to learn more about this? And so I thought that was also a good angle to pull out here with people that are invested in, our mission at Habitual Growth, which is growing and living with intention, which is if you look at your life through the lens of curiosity, where would you choose to learn more? And what tools can you then use that will help you build on that curiosity so that you are moving forward and really growing and developing that gets you to, the results that you want for yourself, a month, 2 month, years down the road.
Yeah, I wanna take maybe a different spin on this because your last point was fantastic, which is, we talk about habitual growth, and yes, we're all about goals and essential actions and continuing to move forward. And I think some people hear that and they immediately just say, well, that's all this is. But the reality is behind that is creating behaviors. And one of those behaviors is critical thinking. And this really just is shown through the importance of education. And I actually have a couple of real-time examples that I would say are happening in real time to me right now. So like this week, I took Kingston out, my son, who is 6, and we replaced light bulbs in my Explorer. And we walked through what tools go where, how do you take a light bulb out? And, with Selah, my eldest daughter, we're talking about, how do you fix things? How do things work? And in this day and age, when everything is like Amazon's going to deliver it, or, I'm just going to go buy another one of these things, we've lost this ability to be educated in the things that actually help our lives move forward, right? There's so many people, and this is not a slight at people, but there's so many people who just don't know how to fix anything, right?
Mhm.
Things go wrong and it's like, Well,
Eh,
SOL, I guess I got to go buy another one or hire somebody to do this. And it could be simple things like literally changing a light bulb, right? Or, tightening a screw on something that repairs it. And when you start to go down and really understand, like, how do things work? Why do things work? I think this is really the importance of AI in society right now. Yes, it can build awesome stuff. Yes, it can do all these things, but it's really opened up this path for people to educate themselves at such an accelerated rate that, hey, if you're a single mom at home and you don't have the finances or, somebody around you that can help repair things, well, guess what? Like, you can easily get on ChatGPT, find me some videos. Here's the exact model of the thing that I have that I need to go figure out how to repair, and then just walk through the fire. You're going to screw it up, a couple of times. It's not going to make sense at first. So I think the curiosity actually comes second in my mind to the necessity of, like, I want to understand why things work so that I can be educated and figure out how these skill sets, this particular thing might impact my life in other areas.
yeah, yeah. No, absolutely. I think you're right. Like, there's the critical thinking aspect that, we assume like is hard problem solving or, some sort of math equation that, we need to figure out. But actually the critical thinking component that's accelerated is exactly what you talked about, is skills I never learned or thought about needing to know. Suddenly I have the availability of the information to be able to learn those things, which makes us all more well-rounded, I would say, and more able to invest in time and things that actually are value add in our life, whether that's I can take care of my own property myself. I don't need to rely on external people to do it, to I can now use what I've learned through AI or other mechanisms of information to accelerate my own career growth. So I think the opportunities are becoming greater and greater when people look at sources of information, how to best follow their curiosity to pull on that thread to understand how to then build a plan from an education and an information standpoint to really drive where they want to get to, whether that's a goal, whether that's a physical appearance result, or just even deeper relationships. You can find sources of information to help you augment every area of your life when you are intentional about doing so.
Yeah, absolutely. And just adding two things to that. One, it is always good to be curious and it is always good to be educated. And this is why we always say at Abyss of Growth, we leverage the technology to invest in the human. Like, we actually spend a lot of time investing in both, in energy. And the updates that are coming down the pipeline shortly for us, I think, are going to really exemplify how we can leverage technology and really put the power in people's hands to be educated, but then also move themselves forward. The second piece of this is, no matter how much information is available, you still have to apply it.
Yeah, to do
And
it.
not
Yeah.
only do you have to apply it, you have to apply it consistently for a very long time. Now, that's different than, of course, fixing something, which, yes, you might have to spend a little bit of time figuring out, what screws to tighten, what tools you might need, what's going to impact this. But if you are doing things like you said, like, what body do you want? What mentality do you want? That takes a lot of work. And like we talked about in the last episode, American grit, perseverance, you have to walk through the fire. You just have to know it's going to take time. So even though you might have access to the information, even though it might be readily available, you still have to put in the work. And once you accept that of, like, hey, not only am I curious, not only do I want to be educated, and I'm going to go figure this out, like, everything is figure outable, like we've talked about before. Right now, I know it's going to take me some time. So instead of just saying I've got instant gratification because I know the information, I need to apply it, and I need to apply it, let's say, for 90 days, or in our case, if you're going to build a habit, 70 days. That way, you've already put a timeline in your mind. You've already set the first milestone, and you can get off to the races by using now the information that you can easily find. It's just the application piece that is the problem.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I love it. I thought this was a great topic. I knew it was going to be, and
Yes.
hopefully we will find a way to expand upon it and maybe how to apply the information that's available more effectively at future episodes.
Absolutely love it. Audience, thank you for joining us. Of course, hit like and subscribe. It really helps our channel out. We're trying to bring more content like this to you. Of course, go download the Habitual Growth app. We've got some really exciting updates coming in less than a month. Fingers crossed. We've been talking about this for a while now, but we're almost there. And we appreciate you. So hit us up if you have any questions, and we'll take it into the next session next week, Lise.
Sounds good. Good to see you, Nate.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.